You need to come closer. All right, Trouble.
Right, pal, how you doing?
Alright, not too bad.
The guy came to talk to me about HSL membership.
Hello, everyone. We've got Tracy talking at us now. We're live on Facebook. She's kind of just, the usual. Anyway, we are live at Easter Road. We've got a project coming up over the next couple of days. You'll see it live on the group. We've had a fantastic morning. We arrived here about 11:30. We've got interviews with the ladies team. We've got interviews with Grant Stott. We've got interviews with Rod Petrie. It's a good one to listen out for. We've got lots of pictures. Ian Sutherland's in the West Stand, our photographer, will be taking lots of pictures today. So now it's a complete. We had a little cameo from Sir Tom Farmer during the Grant Stott interview. That was hilarious. You need to keep an eye on that one. This is going to be such a party atmosphere. Outside is buzzing. Behind the goals bar's buzzing. I'm here. I've got Darren Summers sitting beside me on my left. Connor Wallace on my right. We're Fans News. Have a wee look. I'll come up with the team news in a couple of seconds. And we're going to have a wee cut to Tracy Smith, our fans director. Is going to have a wee word with us.
Come, Tracy.
So, team news. So today, as Tracy comes in to join us, I can let you know that in goals we've got Ofer Marciano. Right back we've got David Gray, followed quite closely by Darren McGregor, Effie Ambrose and Lewis Stevenson for the defence. Andrew Shinnie, John McGinn, Marvin Bartley and having a wee look there, wee Martin Boyle's there as well for the midfield, and up top it looks like we've got Jason Cummins and the legendary Grant Holt. Substitutes this evening: number 31 Ross Laidlaw, number 8 Fraser Fivey, 19 James Keatons, 23 Jordan Foster, 27 Chris Humphrey, 29 Brian Graham, and the young up and coming Scott Martin is sitting in there as well. Tracy's here. How are you doing, Tracy?
I'm doing good, thank you.
This is we had a wee chat outside with Frank.
Mm-hmm.
We also had a chat with Rod Petrie, believe it or not.
Yep.
They were telling us how things have been going behind the scenes. How's it feeling with the board?
Yeah, no, really good feeling about the place. Obviously, great support, which has really kind of given, I think, the whole club an actual buzz. You can just tell even just outside speaking to supporters and that there's a real buzz about the place, which is great, and I think the club's come a long way since we were relegated 3 years ago.
Now you are, is this 5 months in the job now?
No, not even as long as that, since end of March.
Is it just this
Yeah.
March? So a couple of months in the job.
And
How's
promoted already.
2 months in, promoted? There you go, you heard it here first. Tracy's done all the work. So what's life been like as the fans director in the last 2 months?
Yeah, no, it's been really good. Really enjoying speaking with all the supporters. It's been really good getting to meet all the board members as well. All really lovely, made me feel really welcome. Frank's been a great help. It's great to, because he's been doing the job for 2 years, it's great to have him as a support and a backup to kind of bounce questions off, and he's been absolutely brilliant.
And to put it into context, young Connor standing beside me seething because you get to go to the after party with the board, all the players, the management team. You looking forward to that?
Yeah, I need to reel in my fangirling because I'm still just a fan when it comes to that. It's like, right, looking forward to it. They're all really good people.
So are you looking forward to the match? What's your predictions?
I'm going to go 3-0 Hibs.
Excellent. Well, listen, I'll not keep you because your family's here. Thank you for having a wee chat with us and not forgetting who we are.
Never forget. Never forget.
Thanks, Tracy. Cheers. So, Connor, it's quite a carnival atmosphere today, mate. What's your feelings? How's it going to go today?
Certainly is. To be honest, I'm absolutely buzzing. A lot of people will say they never want to be relegated, and of course you would never want to be relegated, but I personally wouldn't change anything for the world. This has been my greatest 3 years supporting Hibs, and I don't think there'll ever be a better period. We've had some unbelievable highs, from Malonga running the full length of the pitch to beat Aberdeen whilst they were flying high at the top of the SPL, from Conrad Logan's heroics in the Scottish Cup semi-final to, of course, finally ending the hoodoo after 114 years. It's just such a great time to be a Hibby. I just can't describe how brilliant it is to be alive right now, and brilliant it is to follow the greatest club in Edinburgh, and for me, the greatest club in the world.
Darren?
Yep. Just glad to be here, mate. I mean, it's going to be a great atmosphere. We've got a sellout Easter Road again. Biggest crowds in Edinburgh again. So it's just great to be here. Great to see us lift yet another trophy. Just so excited for it. And it's been a roller coaster, as Connor says, over the last few years. But to be honest, I think that roller coaster is about to start again, right at the very start. I think getting back into the Premiership, I can see us doing much better. People are talking about top 6 at the moment. I can see us, with the squad that we've got and the players we're talking about bringing in, I think we can do a lot better than top 6. I think we should be in the top 3, 4 next season. Why not? Why not aim to the top? Everybody we spoke to today, from the directors to big fans, everybody's speaking about like going further and everything behind the scenes, being absolutely correct with the club. Why not? Let's see what we can do next season.
Everything, apart from Danny Swanson, obviously, because that's been confirmed, everything's pure speculation and rumour. But there's names batting about, already. As we've mentioned in the interviews that you'll see during the project when that's released next week, names like Chris Commons, Anthony Stokes, allegedly here today as guests of the club. Make into that as what you will. Other names like Henderson, obviously his name's always going to be mentioned. Looking at the team that we've got now, the players that are sort of on the top of everybody's lips in terms of coming in, who do you want to see? Who will make the team stronger?
All the names will make the team stronger. I mean, Stokes, club legend, for what he done in that cup final. I think for me it's more about trying to keep the players that we've got. I mean, there's rumours about McGinn going, there's rumours about this being David Gray's last game. They're 2 players I would love to see in the Premiership, because they're the 2 players who will push us onto that top 4 we're speaking about. But let's trust Neil Lennon. He's got contacts everywhere. The players that he's brought in for this season, we never expected in the Championship. So let's see what he can do with a budget in the Premier League.
Connor, we've attended some development games this season, and last season we've seen players like Ollie Shaw, we've seen players like young Jamie Gillan, Donaldson, young Crane. It's quite a young crop coming through. Who do you think is going to make the cut next season?
So the most recent game that we were at was the Hibs Hearts game up at the Oriam during the week there. I was very, very impressed with Scott Martin. He's always very tenacious in midfield. He seems to have bulked up a wee bit as well. So I'd like to think he'll be in and about the first team a lot more often next season. Another couple of players I'd be looking at and I'd be confident in is young Porteous. He's a pretty small guy, but I tell you what, he doesn't have battering to players in centre halves, and he's really commanding. Captain of the team, he's permanently organising and positioning the other players around him, which is really good to see at such a young age. Another couple, Ollie Shaw has obviously been highly, highly rated, spoken about by fans, the club, Neil Lennon, etc. From what I've seen during the week, he's got fantastic athletic ability. He's really, really good in the ball, and he can turn and he can shoot as well. Everything you want in a striker. He reminds me of a younger, faster Gary O'Connor. So I'm very impressed, and I look forward to seeing him. The other major one for me is Callum Donaldson at right back. I hadn't heard a lot about him before the most recent development game, but I was very impressed with his ability to get up and down the right wing. He never tired all game. He just kept going and going. He's very, very strong in the tackle. So it's not, I wouldn't go as far to say it's quite a golden generation like we had with Brown and Thompson and Whittaker, etc. But the future's bright, the future's green.
George Craig was telling us when we went to visit the East Mains, he was talking about how he wants that 3-tier system. You've got your player who will be in the starting 11, you've got your player that's ready on the bench already, and then you've got your development team, and then obviously down the ages before that. 5 years ago we would have just laughed when he said that and said there's no chance. But where's that coming from? But you can really start to see that in the work that they've done in the academy over the last 3 years, and you can actually see it actually starting to happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As I said, you can see that the whole system with the youths has been changed from top to bottom, and I think that has been a problem ever since the golden generation came through. I think a lot of the golden generation did come down to luck in terms of just having a good crop of players that came together at the same time, but a lot of credit has to go to John Park, who was our youth coach at the time, did leave for Celtic, and he was never really replaced. I got the impression as we went through our turgid managers like Butcher and Calderwood, not so much Fenland, but there wasn't a lot of care about what went into the youth system and bringing people through. It was all about bringing in journeymen, stopgap loan deals, just to get us through these periods or these seasons. So it's good now to see us really building the foundations from the ground that we may not see this year, we may not see next year, but in 5 years' time, that's where we're going to make our millions of pounds. Your Cummings, your McGinns, if we can get them early on long contracts, that's how clubs in Scotland outside of Celtic really need to survive. So it's a very, very positive future for us.
Just a point on that, Conor. Do you think Neil Lennon is the man to bring through the youth talent? Because in the past, I mean, at Celtic and his other appointments, he's been somebody who will bring in big players rather than and just to get the job done, rather than give the young players a big chance. So like you're saying, we've not got the golden generation. Do you think that a lot of the players will break into the team for next season?
That's a difficult one. The only one I see getting near the first team next season would be Scott Martin. I don't think any of the rest are quite ready. But you say with Neil Lennon bringing in big players at Celtic, what was very impressed with was his scouting ability at Celtic. He brought in a lot of players for nominal fees and sold them on for some astronomical fees. Your Wanyamas, your Van Dijks, Ki Sung Young, etc. as well. So he's got a real eye for a player. His signings this season, I think they've been good and not so good. But I think again he's been looking at just doing whatever he can to get us out of this league this season. And I think with a full summer in charge, he's not got to worry about the Hampden debacle, Police Scotland. We don't need to worry about Europe or anything going into it. We can just enjoy our summer, recharge. As you can see, he's moved early for players like Danny Swanson. And that's something we haven't really seen since Liam Craig signed for Hibs, is getting players in early. We've always been the team that will go out on the last day of August and buy 4 or 5 players, and then it'll take them till October, November to get settled in. So I think it's not going to mess about. From what I've heard, we're going to have one of the highest budgets, if not the highest budget outside of Celtic. So I said it's a very exciting time to be a fan, and I really think we're going to go up there and hit the ground running.
Connor's just touched on it again there, Darren. We said to Frank Dugan outside 3 years ago, 4 years ago, hell, maybe even last year, you would turn around and you would say to fans, or we would put on there's a certain rumour XYZ player is linked with us, and fans would turn around and go, you're having a laugh. Aberdeen's in for him. We can't compete with Aberdeen. But now this season, Leanne Dempster and the club have already turned around and said, look, we've got Danny Swanson. We've been linked with him since he was about 4-year-old. He's here, he's coming. Fans are obviously quite happy about that, I think, majority of them anyway. If I was to turn around to you and mention, Malin and all that kind of stuff and say, look, these guys are linked with Hearts, they're linked with Aberdeen, Hibs are linked with them as well. Now I think the attitude's changed. I think the Hibs fans are saying, well, let's go for it.
Completely. You'll see coming up later on in the interviews that you had with Frank said, when we want a player now, we go for it and we get that player. They'll be sitting down in the summer, they'll be drawing up a budget, and I think with that budget, Neil Lennon will then be free to actually spend that how he wants to spend it. The players that we spoke about, Millen, Swanson, they're all players that can do something in this squad. They're all players that will add to the squad just now. Like I say, who else could we bring in? Lately, every linked player that we have been, we put on the Facebook page, we've actually went and signed. The rumours about Chris Cummins, he was here. We played him, and he was our player in the Championship. We would never imagined having a player like Chris Cummins playing for Hibs in the Championship. It's just an excellent time to see these players come in, and I think you can see the feel-good factor around the club. 3 years, let's look back 3 years ago, it was doom and gloom. Everything was just looked terrible. We were getting low crowds. I mean, I've been coming here where I was 7,000-8,000 some nights. 3 years on, these people behind the scenes, your Frank, your Leanne Dempster, have changed the complete and utter, right from the bottom up, the attitude to this club. And again, yet another, like I said earlier, another sellout here at Easter Road. You can't complain.
I'm just looking over my shoulder here at Ofer Marciano. You've got to hope that the club can keep a hold of him, Connor.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Marciano's come in. He's been slightly unfortunate with injuries, but I think it's plain to see when he has been playing that he's assured at the back. He gives the defence that confidence, and I think that cannot be understated, how important it is to the spine of a side to have a defence that's confident in their goalkeeper and confident that if the ball does get through, then he's going to be there to pick it up. He's pulled off some fantastic saves this season. I think it showed in the summer he's been really highly rated. He's an Israeli internationalist, and they're no mugs. So I think it shows really good ambition by the club again to actually bring in a player of that magnitude. He said it in an interview during the week that he himself wants to tie up a deal at Hibs as soon as possible, and it's just a deal, just a case of dealing with his parents' side. So I think that shows just how much the club actually means to him. And it really shows how when a club is going through such a great period like this, the players really link with the club and they link with the support, and it lives with them forever. Again, it happened with Sproul and it happened with most of the golden generation, but it's not something we've had for the last 10 years. So it's brilliant to see so many high-profile players that are happy to stay at this club. I mean, look, we're in effectively a meaningless game today. It does not matter what the result is. Yes, we're lifting the trophy, which is fantastic, but we've sold over 18,500 tickets for Hibs fans alone. I've never seen that before at Easter Road, and the fact that this game technically doesn't mean anything just shows what a brilliant support we've got if the club take the time to tap into it, which we have done. So absolutely brilliant.
We spoke about earlier in the week when we interviewed Mickey Weir about like the core of the Hibs team now being Hibs fans, and in the past the team that got relegated, the team of that cup final that we'll not speak about, we just never had that now. Do you think that's why the success is here? Do you think that's why it's actually getting better? Because the core of that team care about Hibs, and then that connection with the fans, that's why that's there now.
I think it kind of summed it up watching the Time for Heroes DVD when it was released. It was players like Marvin Bartley was saying that they were in the tunnel at Tynecastle for the first cup game last year that we came back and drew 2-2, and all the Hearts fans were giving it, come on boys, we're going to do them, and goading the players. And I think one of the Hearts players had said to Bartley, I'm going to do you, wee man. And he just laughed and said, what the hell's a wee man? And he was like, aye, whatever, mate. And it's that swagger and the confidence. And Henderson mentioned it as well. Said they went out and they knew they were a better team than Hearts. That's never happened before. I've never seen it outside of the squad that we go into every derby, and I do not expect us to not even draw. I don't expect us to be troubled by Hearts anymore. And as you say, that stems down to a lot of players supporting the club, and a lot of players just coming in that really know what it means to be a Hibs fan, and winning the Scottish Cup has just united the club and the players and the fans forever.
Our new administrator in the background here recordings, Lauren, she's doing a fantastic job showing you just the stand filling up great. I don't know if you can quite pick it up on our mic. We're using a close mic, so it's really focusing on us, but the stadium's like a quarter full, and the atmosphere's electric, absolutely brilliant. I've never actually come in this early and felt this kind of atmosphere, Darren. It's going to be absolutely bouncing come kick-off.
Yeah, certainly. I think this guy knows I'm going to talk. Every time I talk, he just talks over it. This is a day for the fans. I mean, to be fair, the game today isn't going to be the easiest of games. We're up against a team who's fighting relegation, so I just really hope we can get over the line today and actually give the fans a win on a day like this. I know we've got members probably watching right now from all over the world, and hopefully they get a chance to actually watch the game and be part of this today, because even though we've got 18,500 in the stadium, I think there'll be probably another 50,000 across the world actually watch this, and this day is actually from them, because we've all been part of that nightmare of the last 3 days and last 3 years, and it's actually over now.
We've also got coming in beside us Jamesy boy. James Hebden helps us out quite a lot behind the scenes. You might see more of him next season, hopefully. You're going to come on board and help us out?
You better believe it, I'll be there.
Grand man. How's you always bring the boys? It's a massive family atmosphere today. It's absolutely brilliant. How do you think things are going to go?
I don't know. I don't care if we get beat today. Today's all about celebrating what we've done this season. I would love to win today. That'd be nice, cherry on the cake. But you know what? It's all about celebrating what we've done this season. And I'm just looking forward to having the day. So many Hibs fans here. Great atmosphere, great vibe. Loving it.
Brilliant, mate. Well, go and enjoy yourself. And the kids. Right. Well, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to sign off. Unfortunately, the pitch is being watered. The groundsmen are out making it. It looks absolutely fantastic, actually, for the last game of the season. We hope you enjoy the new project that's coming out. Hopefully, I'll try and have it out by Tuesday at the latest. But you know, here's glory to the High Beats. We hope you enjoy things, and we'll hope to see you on the Premier League next season. See you.